Most men think turning on a woman, especially a female friend, is about doing something big, bold, or risky. But the truth is far simpler. Women get turned on through emotional safety, subtle cues, and carefully crafted energy. And when done right, things can shift in just 3 minutes. Not because you're forcing it, but because you're triggering the exact psychological switches that make attraction natural, comfortable, and mutual. This isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding feminine psychology, respecting boundaries, and creating chemistry that feels effortless. The first thing to understand is that women respond to presence more than appearance. A man who is grounded, calm, and emotionally controlled is instantly more attractive than a man who is trying too hard to impress. When you hold eye contact, breathe slowly, and keep your voice steady, you create a bubble of safety and intrigue around her. She starts to feel your energy without you saying a single flirtatious word. Most men overlook this, but presence is the first step to turning any moment into connection. Next is emotional attunement. Women unlock when they feel understood, when you read her cues, her tone, her expression, her comfort level, and respond accordingly. She feels seen on a deeper level. You don't jump to sexual comments. You start with warmth, curiosity, and subtle compliments that highlight her uniqueness, not her body. In those moments, she doesn't feel objectified. She feels valued. That difference alone can flip her attraction switch faster than you imagine. Then comes masculine polarity. This is where you allow your natural confidence and playful boldness to shine without crossing boundaries. You lean in slightly when she speaks. You lower your voice just a bit. You let your eyes linger for 1 extra second. You're not begging for her attention. You're inviting her into your space. That space is where tension builds. Women respond deeply to controlled masculine energy that is respectful yet unmistakably confident. And suddenly, her mind begins to wander toward the possibility of something more. Another powerful key is mystery. Don't over-explain yourself. Don't rush. Don't try to prove that you're a good guy. Simply embody it. Women get turned on when they sense there is more to you than what you show on the surface. A calm smile, a teasing line delivered softly, or a quiet pause when she wasn't expecting it. All of this creates anticipation. Anticipation is the beginning of arousal. Touch, if appropriate and welcome, is the next layer. A light, non-sexual touch on the elbow when you're laughing together, a gentle high five that lingers a second longer, a slight brush of hands. These micro moments create sparks. The secret is to let it feel accidental but intentional at the same time, always making sure she's comfortable and responsive. If she leans and matches your touch or smiles warmly afterward, you know the energy is shifting. Finally, you lead the moment. Women feel turned on when a man is assertive yet sensitive, when he knows what he wants but respects her boundaries. If the chemistry is mutual, you can slow your tone, deepen your eye contact, lower your voice, and let silence carry meaning. That final moment of connection where you both feel something is happening without forcing it is what truly turns her on, naturally, quickly, and genuinely. Most men completely misunderstand what it takes to turn on a woman, especially a female friend. They think it's about grand gestures, bold flirting, or pushing boundaries too fast. The reality is far simpler and far more powerful. It's about presence, energy, subtle cues, and emotional intelligence. Women are wired to respond to men who make them feel seen, understood, and safe while simultaneously sparking intrigue. You can trigger that shift in as little as 3 minutes if you know exactly what to do. This isn't manipulation, it's understanding human psychology and connection at its finest. The first element is presence. A woman senses your energy before she even listens to your words. Standing tall, breathing slowly, and holding steady eye contact creates an aura of calm confidence. When you're present, grounded, and fully engaged in the moment, you automatically become magnetic. Women notice men who are comfortable in their own skin, who don't need to impress or perform. That silent confidence signals security and strength, which are incredibly attractive. Simply by existing fully in the moment, you can pull her attention and interest without saying a word. Next comes emotional attunement. Women respond to men who understand them on a deeper level. It's not about agreeing with everything she says. It's about noticing the subtle cues, tone of voice, expressions, posture, and responding in a way that validates her feelings. A light, genuine compliment or a playful acknowledgement of something unique about her personality can flip her interest switch almost instantly. She doesn't want to feel objectified. She wants to feel valued. The difference between a man who is attuned and one who isn't is massive when it comes to attraction. Masculine polarity plays a critical role. This is where your natural confidence and playful boldness come into play. Lean in slightly when she speaks. Lower your voice subtly. Maintain eye contact just a fraction longer than expected. You're not desperate for attention, you're inviting her into your energy. Women are wired to feel tension and chemistry when masculine and feminine energies interact in a playful, confident way. The key is controlled energy, strong yet gentle enough to create curiosity and desire without intimidation. Creating mystery is equally important. Don't overshare, don't explain yourself unnecessarily. Women are drawn to men who hold a little back, who hint at depth without revealing everything. A teasing comment, a small pause before responding, or a calm smile can spark intrigue and anticipation. Anticipation is a form of mental arousal that primes her for connection. Touch, when appropriate, accelerates the process. A brief, non-sexual touch, a brush of the hand, a playful nudge, a casual high five lingering just a second longer creates a spark. The secret is subtlety and attentiveness. If she responds positively, her energy will mirror yours and chemistry begins to escalate naturally. Finally, leading the moment with respect seals the connection. Women are turned on by men who know what they want but remain considerate of boundaries. Slow your voice, maintain eye contact, and let pauses communicate attraction. When the energy is mutual, chemistry builds quickly and naturally, and the shift in her feelings happens almost effortlessly. Emotional attunement is one of the most powerful tools a man can use to spark attraction. Yet so many completely overlook it. It's not about saying the right words or trying to be charming in a surface level way. It's about genuinely connecting with her on an emotional level, noticing the subtle signals she gives, and responding in a way that makes her feel understood and seen. Women are wired to respond to men who can pick up on their emotional state, who can tune into the rhythm of their energy, and who can communicate empathy without losing masculinity. This is not weakness, this is magnetic strength, the kind that turns casual interaction into intense attraction. The first step in emotional attunement is active observation. Pay attention to her body language, the tone of her voice, the way she phrases her thoughts. Does she seem excited, anxious, shy, or playful? Small cues like a slight tilt of the head, a quick smile, or a pause before answering reveal how she feels in that moment. When you notice these things and respond accordingly, she feels seen on a deeper level. She begins to feel that you understand her not just as a friend, but as a woman with emotions, desires, and nuances that matter. That sense of being understood is incredibly arousing even before physical attraction comes into play. Next is validation. Women want to feel that their feelings are legitimate, that their experiences are acknowledged. This doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says or trying to fix her problems. It means reflecting her emotions back in a way that demonstrates empathy. A simple nod, a warm smile, or a phrase like, "I get why you feel that way," communicates that you're tuned in. When a woman senses that a man is emotionally intelligent, it triggers a deeper level of interest and comfort. She starts to trust him, and trust is the foundation for sexual and emotional arousal. Another key aspect of emotional attunement is subtle, well-timed compliments. Compliments should never feel forced or superficial. Instead of commenting on obvious physical traits, focus on qualities that make her unique, her sense of humor, her perspective, or the way she makes people around her feel. A comment like, "I love how you see things differently, it's refreshing," or "you have this energy that's impossible to ignore," resonates on an emotional level. It shows that you value her mind and her spirit, not just her body, and that level of recognition can create instant chemistry. Finally, emotional attunement is amplified through timing and pacing. Don't rush the connection or try to push it toward sexual attraction immediately. Instead, let her emotions guide the pace, mirror her energy, respond with sensitivity, and create an environment where she feels comfortable opening up. When she senses that you're emotionally synchronized, she relaxes, her defenses lower, and her mind starts to associate you with safety, intrigue, and desire simultaneously. This delicate balance of empathy and masculine presence is what allows attraction to escalate naturally in a matter of minutes. When emotional attunement is done correctly, it is almost irresistible. She doesn't just notice you, she feels you. The combination of observation, validation, subtle compliments, and careful pacing builds tension and anticipation that words alone cannot create. It transforms ordinary interaction into a magnetic, emotionally charged connection, laying the groundwork for genuine desire. Masculine polarity is one of the most overlooked yet powerful elements of attraction, and it's what sets apart men who can create instant chemistry from those who are just nice guys. Polarity is not about being aggressive, dominating, or disrespectful. It's about embodying a calm, confident, and magnetic energy that naturally draws a woman in, creating a push and pull dynamic that sparks desire almost automatically. When you understand how to express masculine polarity correctly, you don't need to rely on words, tricks, or manipulation. Your energy alone begins to create tension, anticipation, and intrigue. At its core, masculine polarity is about controlled confidence. Women are attracted to men who are grounded, secure in themselves, and aware of their own value. You don't fidget, over explain, or try too hard to impress. Instead, you hold your presence with ease. Your posture is relaxed yet upright. Your voice steady, your movements purposeful. Even the way you enter a room, sit across from her, or glance her way carries subtle signals of dominance and security. These signals tell her that you are a man who knows who he is and what he wants, which is irresistibly attractive. Polarity also involves a playful form of tension. This is where subtle teasing, light humor, and confident energy intersect. You can lean in slightly when she talks, lower your voice just enough to create intimacy, or let your eyes linger a second longer than expected. You're not invading her space or being pushy. You're simply inviting her into your energy and allowing chemistry to build naturally. Women feel this tension subconsciously. It excites them, creates anticipation, and makes them more receptive to your presence. The key is subtlety. Too much force kills attraction, while the right balance makes her want to lean in, both emotionally and physically. Another aspect of masculine polarity is decisiveness. Women respond to men who take the lead without being controlling. This doesn't mean making all the decisions or ignoring her input. It means confidently suggesting options, setting a playful pace, and demonstrating that you can guide the moment. A simple example is choosing a topic of conversation with energy, suggesting a playful challenge, or gently directing the interaction with charm. This demonstrates that you are a man with direction and purpose, which is an innate trigger of desire. Polarity also thrives on contrast. Masculine energy naturally complements feminine energy, which is why women respond so strongly to men who embody it authentically. Being calm while she is lively, grounded while she is expressive, and confident while she is playful creates a magnetic dynamic. The interaction feels electric because each energy amplifies the other, generating an almost physical pull that she can't ignore. Finally, the essence of masculine polarity is consistency. Your energy must remain strong and controlled throughout the interaction. If you fluctuate between nervousness and confidence, attraction breaks down. Women feel security and intrigue in consistency. It builds trust, curiosity, and desire simultaneously. When you combine controlled confidence, playful tension, decisiveness, and complementary energy, you create an environment where attraction escalates naturally, often within just a few minutes. Masculine polarity is not learned overnight, but once mastered, it transforms ordinary conversations into intense, magnetic connections. It allows chemistry to emerge naturally, making it almost effortless to turn a simple interaction with a female friend into a moment of irresistible attraction. Creating mystery is one of the most subtle yet powerful ways to spark attraction, and it's often overlooked by men who think they need to impress with words, actions, or appearance. Mystery is not about being distant, aloof, or manipulative. It's about holding a part of yourself back, revealing depth slowly, and allowing her imagination to fill in the blanks. Women are naturally drawn to men who feel intriguing because curiosity creates tension, anticipation, and excitement. When done right, a sense of mystery can turn ordinary moments into charged connections in a matter of minutes. The first principle of mystery is not over-explaining. Many men have the habit of talking too much, sharing every detail about themselves, and trying to prove they are interesting or successful. The result is the opposite of attraction. It removes intrigue and makes the conversation predictable. Instead, share selectively, drop hints about your experiences, passions, or talents, but don't give the full story immediately. Let her curiosity do the work. A simple teasing line, a playful story with a mysterious ending, or a subtle reference to something intriguing about yourself invites her to want more. Another powerful tool is pacing. Mystery thrives on timing. Don't rush to respond to every question immediately. Pause, slightly smile knowingly, or give a playful, incomplete answer that encourages her to engage further. These micro pauses create a rhythm in the conversation that builds anticipation. Women pick up on these subtle cues subconsciously, and their minds start filling in the gaps. This anticipation is mentally stimulating, and over time can generate a magnetic pull that goes beyond words or gestures. Nonverbal communication also fuels mystery. How you move, your facial expressions, and your energy can communicate depth without saying a single word. A slight smile, a calm gaze that lingers, or a relaxed posture that exudes confidence communicates that there is more beneath the surface. This subtlety encourages her to pay closer attention to you, interpret your signals, and in turn become more emotionally invested. Mystery is never loud, it's quiet, understated, and alluring. Another key element is selective sharing of emotions and vulnerability. While emotional attunement is crucial for connection, you don't reveal everything at once. Allow glimpses of your inner world, a hint of passion, a subtle reference to a meaningful experience, or a fleeting moment of introspection without giving away the entire picture. Women are naturally drawn to men who appear complex, layered, and self-contained. The balance between openness and reserved energy keeps them intrigued and mentally engaged. Playfulness is an additional layer of mystery. Teasing lightly, being slightly unpredictable in your energy, and keeping the conversation dynamic creates a sense of fun and spontaneity. It makes her feel alive and curious in your presence. Predictability kills attraction. A man who keeps things lightly unpredictable while remaining confident holds her attention effortlessly. Finally, mystery builds attraction by letting her imagination do much of the work. When she senses that you have depth she hasn't yet uncovered, she becomes emotionally and mentally invested in figuring you out. That investment itself generates desire, anticipation, and connection. Creating mystery isn't about being fake, it's about pacing your revelation, teasing curiosity, and letting your energy naturally pull her in. When done correctly, it transforms ordinary conversations into moments of electric chemistry that feel effortless yet irresistible. Micro touch is one of the most underestimated ways to spark attraction, yet when done correctly, it can create instant chemistry and intensify emotional connection. The key word here is subtlety. Micro touch is not about being overt, invasive, or disrespectful. It's about using small, brief, and intentional touches to communicate warmth, energy, and interest while always respecting her boundaries. When used thoughtfully, micro touch becomes a powerful, almost unconscious signal of attraction that women notice immediately and respond to naturally. The first principle is timing and context. Micro touch should always feel appropriate to the situation. A casual, playful environment is ideal. Where touch comes naturally during laughter, conversation, or shared activities, the goal is to make the touch feel seamless, almost accidental, yet intentional enough to create a spark. It could be a gentle brush of the hand as you hand her something, a brief touch on her shoulder when sharing a laugh, or a soft, reassuring touch on her elbow during a story. These small gestures create connection without words, allowing energy and attraction to flow effortlessly. Another important factor is reading her response. Women are incredibly perceptive, and their body language will indicate whether a touch is welcome. If she leans in, smiles warmly, or lightly mirrors your movements, these are signals that your touch is creating comfort and chemistry. If she pulls back, tenses, or seems uncomfortable, it's crucial to immediately respect that space and not push further. Micro touch works best when it feels natural and consensual, and women respond positively when they sense that you are attuned to their reactions and sensitive to their comfort. Micro touch also communicates confidence and presence. A man who touches lightly with calm intention signals that he is comfortable with himself, confident in his energy, and aware of how to create connection without words. Unlike overt gestures, micro touch is subtle yet powerful because it bypasses logic and speaks directly to a woman's nervous system. It builds arousal and emotional intimacy on a subconscious level, often before she even consciously realizes what is happening. A brief touch can make her feel safe, desired, and intrigued all at once. Playfulness is another layer that enhances micro touch. When paired with a teasing comment, a smile, or a shared laugh, the touch feels flirtatious yet light, sparking chemistry without pressure. This creates an environment where attraction can grow naturally, building both emotional and physical tension. Touch becomes part of a dance, fluid, mutual, and exciting rather than forced or awkward. The combination of subtlety, timing, and playfulness amplifies the magnetic pull between you and her. Finally, microtouch sets the stage for deeper connection. It primes her for emotional and physical intimacy by creating a sense of closeness, warmth, and comfort. When done correctly, she begins to associate your presence with positive sensations, pleasure, and anticipation. Micro touch is not about pushing boundaries. It's about enhancing the chemistry that is already there, intensifying attraction naturally, and creating a shared, almost electric energy that makes her want to lean in, engage, and explore the connection further. Leading with respect is the final and perhaps the most critical element in creating genuine attraction. Many men misunderstand what it means to take the lead, assuming it requires aggression, dominance, or pressure. The truth is entirely different. True leadership and attraction is about confidently guiding the interaction while always honoring her boundaries, feelings, and comfort. When a man can do this, it generates trust, excitement, and a sense of safety, all of which are incredibly arousing for a woman. Leading with respect is the art of being assertive without being pushy, decisive without being controlling, and confident without being arrogant. The first step is clarity in your intentions. A man who leads knows what he wants in a calm, non-desperate way, he sets the tone, suggests activities, or directs the flow of conversation with ease. This could be something as simple as proposing a topic, deciding where to sit, or gently guiding her through a playful challenge or shared activity. The key is to make choices that feel natural, considerate, and confident, showing that you are a man who can take responsibility for the interaction while still leaving her space to respond freely. Women respond strongly to this type of leadership because it signals stability and decisiveness, qualities they instinctively find attractive. Respect is inseparable from leadership. As you guide the moment, it's essential to remain attuned to her reactions. If she seems uncomfortable, disengaged, or hesitant, you must adjust immediately. Leading with respect means balancing your desires with hers, making sure she always feels safe, valued, and in control of her participation. This doesn't diminish masculine energy, it enhances it. A woman is drawn to a man who can take charge confidently, but also remain sensitive to her boundaries, creating a dynamic that feels both exciting and secure. Another crucial component is using subtle cues to communicate interest without pressure. Eye contact, tone of voice, body language, and pacing all convey intent. When you slow your speech slightly, maintain steady eye contact, and create gentle pauses, you guide the energy of the interaction. Silence becomes meaningful, tension builds, and she begins to sense the chemistry without you having to force anything. Leading with respect allows attraction to escalate naturally, creating moments that feel electric, intimate, and mutual. Playfulness and confidence also amplify this dynamic. Leading doesn't mean being overly serious or controlling. It means guiding in a way that is enjoyable and flirtatious. A playful challenge, a teasing comment, or a confident suggestion paired with a smile conveys that you are in control while keeping the moment light and fun. Women are instinctively drawn to men who can combine assertiveness with warmth, creating a sense of adventure, safety, and desire all at once. Finally, leading with respect solidifies emotional connection. By guiding the interaction thoughtfully and attentively, you establish trust and demonstrate emotional intelligence. She begins to associate your presence with security, excitement, and intrigue, which deepens both emotional and physical attraction. This is the ultimate form of magnetic energy, a combination of confidence, sensitivity, and intentionality that makes her feel both safe and irresistibly drawn to you. Leading with respect is not about manipulation, it's about creating a space where attraction and connection can flourish naturally, often in just a few minutes, making chemistry feel effortless yet undeniable. And that's the secret. Turning on a female friend in just a few minutes isn't about grand gestures, cheesy lines, or trying to impress. It's about presence, emotional attunement, masculine polarity, mystery, subtle touch, and leading with respect. When you combine these elements, attraction happens naturally. It's not forced. It's not manipulative. It's about understanding psychology, reading energy, and creating a space where chemistry can thrive. Remember, women are drawn to men who are confident, attentive, and respectful, men who make them feel safe, seen, and excited all at once. The magic isn't in what you say. It's in how you carry yourself, how you make her feel, and how you guide the moment with confidence and sensitivity. The smallest gestures, the subtlest touches, the quietest pauses, all of these can spark desire if delivered with intention. So the next time you're with a female friend, don't overthink it. Be present, tune into her energy, maintain your calm confidence, add a hint of mystery, touch subtly if it feels right, and always lead with respect. Those 3 minutes, if done correctly, can completely shift the energy between you, creating chemistry, intrigue, and connection that feels effortless yet undeniable. The truth is, attraction is a dance, not a performance. And when you master these 6 principles, you become a man who naturally draws women in, not through words alone, but through presence, energy, and intention. Use this knowledge wisely, be authentic, and you'll notice the difference immediately. Chemistry, desire, and connection don't have to be complicated. They just have to be done right.